guys, this is Eric, and I'm trying to do an episode on defensive shotguns for the home in less than 10 minutes. The best thing you can do for yourself is listen to the Pro Arms Podcast, episode 17A and B. It took them 2 hours to cover this topic. So this is not definitive. I'm going to go over a couple right and wrong things, and the two major models you should be looking at, the Remington 870 and the Mossberg 500. Now here's an example of a Mossberg 500. Don't bother with kooky stuff like breaching fore ends, okay? You don't need that. It's silly. And I avoid pistol grips like the plague. I think they're terrible. You have to shoot from the hip. You can miss. I've missed with this gun more than I care to admit, especially if you're doing double-aught buck. You've got 8 or 9 pellets that are like 32 caliber. They're not the destructive kaboom all-in-one shot that you see on Hollywood, okay? It's very easy to miss. Because you can't shoulder this thing, people have shot it like this, cracked themselves in the cheekbone, black eyes, knocked out teeth. What I do like about the Mossberg, and keep in mind, the pistol grip can be on any gun. It's not Mossberg's fault. With Mossberg, I really like the ambidextrous safety right there on the tang, and I like that the middle finger of firing hand, you know, whether it's left or right, can hit the slide release right there. To make up for the lack of a stock and being able to aim it, we put this light on here. The rail is Mesa Tactical. Good stuff. I like Mesa Tactical stuff. It's very quality. The mount is CAA, Command Arms Accessories. Total garbage. I will never buy another one of their products again. But it's plastic. It doesn't hold up to the forces of recoil. The light goes flying off. The light is a Surefire G3. It's got the Nitrolon body that they say absorbs the shock. It doesn't. This has the incandescent bulb. I've already replaced it once. I'll probably replace it again, because anything more than the recoil of like a 223, it can't handle it. The recoil of this gun will break this light with the incandescent bulb. Get a LED. That will actually last. So, aside from that, that's pretty much the Mossberg 500. The one thing you got to look out for is the plastic trigger guard. The military version of the Mossberg uses the A1 trigger guard. It's all steel. Because this goes up into the action after tens of years, thousands of rounds, eventually that trigger guard will break and it will completely disable your gun. Get the new trigger guard now and install it whenever you have the chance, or have your gunsmith do it, and the gun will outlast you. Now if you've got the plastic trigger guard, it's not going to break tomorrow, okay? It takes a while, but it does happen. The next one is the Remington 870. This is my personal gun. Get a stock, okay? You need to be able to shoulder it so that you can actually line up the bead with the sight. I've got a recoil pad on mine because I'm a big old girl and I don't like a lot of recoil. And real quickly, I forgot to show you with the Mossberg, but there's nothing in here. That's the follower, high visibility, so you can see that it's empty. Beyond that, the only accessory you really need on any shotgun is a white light. Now on that one, on the Mossberg, it's kind of a compromise. Throw shadow over the barrel and everything to try and mostly aim. On this one, what I've done is I've got it towards the action here. So when I go forward, you can see my hand lines up with that. I did that to be cheap, because the Surefire adjustment that has a light mounted right on here costs $250. That's as much or more than I paid for the shotgun. So what I did was I got a Mesa Tactical rail set up right here, a Voltor mount, and a Surefire light. This is all riding on a Tacstar extended buffer. This is one of the things that I have to say I did wrong. Okay, if you're gonna put more ammo on the gun, which isn't a bad idea, I'm gonna recommend a side saddle, something right here that will mount into those 2 pins and go right along the side. The reason I recommend against this, it complicates things a lot, and I wound up voiding my warranty. Now, I've only got a couple of minutes to try and do this. Let's see how much longer I just made takedown on this thing. Well, first, you got to get that little wing nut there. So and I loosened it so I could cheat this time. So we take the light off. Now I've got to get these Allen keys. And if you're anything like me, you've got more than one Allen key floating around the house. So you got to hope you find the right size. I haven't labeled these things very well. So let's break these off. Now, because I'm compulsive, I just had to use that little plate on the backside. Luckily, it's the same size drivers for that. You don't have to do that. I did it, A, like I said, out of compulsion, and B, to cover up that other nut down there to resist any slippage or wearing. Now, I went through and cheated and found the right sizes before I started this video, but this is a different sized nut. And thankfully, I can cheat just a little bit for the time limits on YouTube. Once you get these things loose, this thing will slide right off the front of the gun. There, you can see it. Okay. From there, you gotta undo this. That's the magazine extension. Let's go ahead and pull the spring out. There's the follower. And now, since I've got all that done, let's go ahead and pull the barrel off. All of that when I could have just undone a cap and pulled the barrel off as it came from the factory. The reason I'm recommending against that, A, aside from complicating takedown a lot, I'm going to show you down here in the magazine. You see that little area where it's light? That's where I took the Dremel tool and had to bore out some notches that were built into the gun. I voided my warranty because when I put on that extension, I had to move the retaining cap for the follower. And I know this sounds really crazy and nuts. Just trust me, skip the whole process. All I had to do was take this stupid little clamp. I could have just bolted the light in right there, had that end going onto the barrel, and been done. I spent more money on it trying to find a clever workaround, and by adding that side saddle, I lost my warranty, and in some cases I would say the serviceability of the gun, because it's heavier, it's harder to swing around now. I gotta say, I recommend against doing what I did. So learn my lesson. Don't do it. And I hope this has given you some kind of insight into what you want to do for building your own home defense shotgun. I've probably skipped over a lot trying to sum things up, but I got the cactus on for everyone who asked about that. So anyway, thanks a lot. Let me go over the controls real quickly since I've got 2 minutes left. The forward controls, the slide release is forward here on the Remington. I don't like that. You have to move your firing hand grip. And the safety is the old conventional push button style. I forget which direction is safe and which is fire. I'm not a big fan of that. Having said that, I like the internals. I like the guts on an 870 a whole lot more. So that's what I chose. But either one, Remington 870 or Mossberg 500, are great choices. I hope you've got some idea of what you want to put on your gun and what you want not on your gun now. Y'all stay safe.